Yeah, so Wayne Westerberg here on the Teclanica River, which was as far as Chris McCandless got on his way out. What's it like for you, Wayne, being out here?
Well, I had flown in there one time, but I've never actually made the trail, so it's kind of a feat to be able to come out here, especially this time of the year, because it was a lot like the time when he actually came in here. And I don't think I would ever walk in here like this, but it's different. I know the first time that I went to the bus was a pretty emotional type thing too. So, but I'm glad we came. They wanted me to come along up here, and I sure wasn't going to turn it down. So I'm glad that I came out. This is a real pretty part of Alaska. I've never been out in here like this time of the year. So I was up here, actually worked on the movie crew, but I didn't come the first time, so I never saw the snow like we have it here. And of course, we had the bus over there where they had the set bus, so we never came out this direction at all. Well, I guess you'd call it the snowball effect. It got the attention right after it happened. Of course, he had worked for me back then, and I'm actually the only one that knew that he was up here. So when we heard the story on Paul Harvey and identified him, I had all these reporters that called, and eventually when they found the so-called South Dakota connection, they came to South Dakota. And it was hard to understand it back then that this many people would get so interested. And I think it was Johnny Dodd with People's Magazine. He sat up here on the steps of the morgue when they tried to identify who this who the young guy was, and he had never seen anything actually happen like that either. That it brought so much attention, and I guess it was young. He was young, and he had his story documented, and that brought the attention. And once it started, nobody could get enough of it. Pretty quick, all the magazines, all the people came, and so it's very odd. And I understand after being up here that there's a lot of other people that have probably died in the outback here and basically been buried John Does almost, and never got that attention. So maybe it was a little bit of a fluke, but the young people relate to him. So colleges, there's always a new crowd of young people coming up, and there's always a crowd that they want to venture out and do things, and whether it's trying to find themselves or maybe just take an adventure. Everyone's always so interested in the story, which it's kind of hard to understand. Our dog sled's coming up behind us here.